Sonic's Greenhouse Adventure Season 5 Chapter 5 A Bad Omen. Modern Sonic's point of view.
As we were enjoying our chili dogs, a golden retriever stared at me. "Oh, who is this?" I asked as the dog came over to me, his tail wagging.
That's Ozzy, the coolest dog in Green Hills.
"Well, he sure is adorable," I said right before he started licking my face. "Okay, and sweet too," I said as he did this, but thankfully Ozzy eventually stopped.
So, Longclaw, what did you want to tell me?
Well, I'm doing sky patrol for the sheriff station, as in a bird's eye view. So if I see something, I'll report it to Tom or Wade at where it's happening.
Whoa, that's awesome, Longclaw, and a great way to put your protective skills to use again, since you're amazing at it. None of us would be here if it weren't for you sending me here. So thank you for everything, Longclaw.
Wow, I never thought about it in that way. But yeah, I guess so. And you're very welcome, all of you.
So, 2 quick questions. 1. What will the sleeping arrangements be? And 2. What were you doing when you left the room, Sonic? I asked curiously.
Oh, that's a good point. But as far as earlier, I called Marina to tell her you were alright. She was just as worried about you as we were when you passed out. In fact, you'll be getting to meet our friends tomorrow at Marina's house.
Movie Sonic replied as the whole family went into thinking mode. Eventually, Silver gasped.
I know the perfect arrangement. You can stay in Sonic's room and I'll sleep in the nursery. That way I can soothe Annika if she gets upset in the middle of the night.
That's brilliant, Silver, and that's very generous of you.
Once we finished dinner, Movie Sonic took me to see his room. Wow, it's amazing. And is that a balcony? So cool, I said as I looked around in awe.
Yep, everything in here and in Shadow's room is stuff I collected from back during my 10 years of isolation.
Whoa, really? That's interesting. Speaking of which, when do you think we should watch your movies?
Tomorrow while we're at Marina's house, because she has a fancy home theater. I just wish Donut Dad, Mom, and Longclaw could be there, but they all have work tomorrow.
Why don't you ask them about it? I'm sure they can arrange something, I said as I comfortably put a hand on his shoulder.
Okay, I will. So, Modern, you ready to experience your first Wachowski movie night?
Movie Sonic asked as we went downstairs. Yep, I take it that it's a family tradition.
Exactly. So, Donut Dad, what's the movie we're watching?
I was thinking you could choose, Sonic.
Tom replied as he handed the remote to him, all while Movie Sonic's face lit up. He chose The Incredibles, and as we watched it, I truly thought about the Wachowski brothers' past from what they revealed about it. Destiny really did bring this family together.
Maddie's point of view.
Halfway through the movie, all the Mobians were passed out, cuddled together. It was adorable enough for me to instantly take a picture. Hey Tom, looks like it's time for bed, I said quietly.
Yeah, let's get them tucked in.
Tom said as we got up and did just that. Thankfully for Silver, he already set up a temporary bed in Annika's nursery.
Movie Sonic's point of view.
For some reason, I had a dream that I thought I would never ever have again. I was out for a rare midnight run. At first, I thought I was running through the woods in Green Hills, Montana. However, when I saw the familiar layout of the path, I realized I was back on Mobius, on the island I came from. The shock brought my running to a halt. It can't be, I said shakily. Part of me wanted to take advantage of the dream and run through the only thing I missed about Mobius, the loop-de-loops. However, the other part of me knew something wasn't right about this. Suddenly, Donut Dad, Pretzel Mom, Shadow, Silver, Longclaw, and Marina, who was in her Mobian form, ran up to me. Guys, what are you doing here on Mobius? I asked nervously, but before they could answer, we heard a twig snap behind me. I carefully turned around as a chill ran down my spine. I saw it was the echidnas.
Finally, after all this time, you're back in our reach.
The echidna who seemed to be the chief said as they all aimed their weapons at us, ready to fire at any sign of retaliation.
And if it isn't Longclaw, we show you mercy and this is what you do? Run away? Well, no more mercy for you.
The chief added as he aimed a bow at Longclaw. No, please, leave them alone. I'm the one you want, I said as I protectively got in the way.
Sonic, don't.
Shadow said as he stepped towards me.
Oh, and who do we have here? 3 more superpowered hedgehogs? Guards, take them and kill the rest.
Before I could respond, they launched a net at Marina, with Shadow and Silver not long after. No, you can't do this! I cried as I ran to help them out of the nets.
Sonic, help us!
Marina cried as she tried to fight against the echidna pulling her towards him. Just as I was about to reach them, the net suddenly tased them. No, stop it! You monsters! I cried right before a net caught me and did the same. Right before I lost complete consciousness, I saw the echidnas charging at our parents, and Monclaw with their weapons ready to go in for the kill. However, I passed out before I could find out what happened to them. When I woke up, I saw that I was strapped down to an examination table. However, I couldn't see my brothers, nor Marina. Shadow? Silver? Marina? Anybody? I cried as my panic began to take over my actions and began to fight against my bindings, but it was pointless. Then the echidna chief came out of the darkness of the room. What have you done to the people I love? Where are they? I demanded. However, he did not answer. He just picked up something from the table not too far away.
It's time to take your power away. One way or another, we will get it.
He said as he came back with a surgical tool that looked very painful. No, no, please, let me go. Let me go. Leave me alone. No!
Modern Sonic's point of view.
I woke up with a start when I heard Movie Sonic screaming out in his sleep.
No, get away from me, you stupid echidna! Let me go!
I heard him yell as I looked over to see him in a cold sweat, tossing and turning and sobbing. When I heard him say that, I ran over to him and started shaking him. Sonic, please wake up. It's alright. It's just a nightmare, I said as I did this. However, nothing worked. I knew I'd need help, so I dashed downstairs and over to Tom and Nai's bedroom. Then I gently knocked on the door.
Maddie's point of view.
I woke up when I heard a knock at our door. I turned to look at it, see it quietly open to reveal Sonic. It took me a moment to realize it was specifically Monner. He had a look of panic and concern on his face. Monner, what is it? I asked carefully. He was opening his mouth to answer, but before he could reply, I heard screaming coming from upstairs. It was so startling that I woke up Tom and jumped out of bed.
What's going on?
Tom asked as he frantically looked around.
It's Sonic. He needs you both right now.
Modern said frantically as he gestured for us to follow him. So we did, and as we ran up the stairs, he explained everything to us. Oh, my poor baby, I exclaimed as I ran even faster. When we entered the room, I could see his electric form was activated from how distressed this night terror was making him.
Modern Sonic's point of view.
Modern, give me a soft and thick blanket for me, please.
I'm on it, Maddie, I said as I dashed out and found the best one I could find. Then I ran back, giving it to Maddie.
Thank you, Modern.
Maddie said as me and Tom watched her rush over to Movie Sonic's bed. Then Maddie wrapped the blanket around Movie Sonic, pulling him into her arms and rocking him back and forth.
Come on, sweetie. Please wake up. Mommy's here. I got you. It's going to be alright. Just please wake up, my little blueberry.
Maddie cried as she did this.
Movie Sonic's point of view.
Just as the chief was about to make contact with me using the tool, I heard Pretzel Mom's voice and felt someone rub the back of my ears and kissing my forehead. That's when I noticed my bindings were gone. However, the echidna chief was still undeterred and struck me. No! No! I screamed as my eyes opened to see Pretzel Mom holding me. Pretzel Mom? You're alive? Oh, thank goodness, I said and then hugged her tightly as I sobbed in relief. I didn't want to let go. It felt like if I did, she would disappear.
Oh, Sonic, it's alright. I'll never leave you.
Pretzel Mom said as she hugged me back. I couldn't seem to stop my sobs. The nightmare was even more intense than anything the possession virus could have thrown at me at that time. but I could hear 2 sets of footsteps coming closer. I pushed past it all just so I could see that it was Donut Dad and Modern.
Sonic, do you think you can tell us what happened?
I shook my head and looked away.
Would you like to sleep in our room tonight?
I could only nod.
All right then.
Pretzel Mom said as she picked me up while I was still in the coziest blanket in the house.
Thank you for getting us, Modern.
Donut Dad said as we left the room. Once we were in my parents' bed, I finally was able to calm down, knowing that the dream wouldn't come true. My parents were here and alive.
Good night, Sonic.
We love you.
They said as they both kissed me on the forehead. Good night. I love you guys too, I said sleepily. Then we fell asleep together.